Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Michael White received his sentencing for the murder of Big Stone Gap police officer Michael Chandler. And the National Guard continues their efforts to help Kentuckians recover from last month's flooding.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Friday to you, Mountain family. My name is Amelia Lee here with you on this March 14th. We have made it to Friday and the time is now 5 o'clock, which means it is time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmaw this morning for a look at that forecast. Megan, we had a treat as we awoke this morning. You called me and you said, go look at the moon.
I sure did. Yeah, I came into work around 1:30, saw the moon, and as soon as Amelia texted me, I said, run outside and take a picture, and her phone's way better than mine, so she took a wonderful picture of the moon this morning. I'm sure she's going to post it on Facebook later today. But not only are we treated with the moon, but also those temperatures this morning as we're sitting in the 50s and 40s. Yeah, it's quite warm, especially at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, get ready for a warm day, because even as we head into the afternoon, we're going to continue to see that trend going with temperatures in the upper 70s and a chance for 80 degrees in Manchester and 81 for Jackson, Prestonsburg, and Pikeville. Here's a look at satellite and radar, and it looks quite clear. So, for the most part, I mean, that view of the moon this morning was quite nice. Had no clouds in the sky. We'll continue to watch those clouds roll in and out. We have very slight chances of rain as we go through the day. Here's a look at those next 12 hours, seeing partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies with high temperatures around that 4 o'clock mark. And as we head into the weekend, that's when we'll start to see some severe weather chances pop up overnight tonight and into Saturday morning. Amelia.
Yesterday, Michael Donovan White was sentenced for the November 2021 murder of Big Stone Gap police officer Michael Chandler. He was sentenced to 100 years in prison. The judge saying if he could, he would impose the death penalty. Chief Deputy of the Commonwealth's Attorney, Stephen Davis, says this was a heart-wrenching ordeal for the people of Big Stone Gap.
That was 1,216 days ago. That's 1,216 days that Michael's family, friends, and our community have mourned this unspeakable loss. For 1,216 days, members of law enforcement and our prosecution team have worked tirelessly to bring this coward to justice.
White is being held at Western Regional Jail in Salem, Virginia. He's awaiting placement from the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and we have more about the background of this case on our website, WYMT.com. Another police officer died in the line of duty 7 years ago yesterday. Pikeville police officer Scotty Hamilton was shot and killed March 13th, 2018, and his department has worked to keep his memory alive every day since. Pikeville police posted on Facebook that Scotty was a devoted officer, loving husband, father, and friend, and embodied what it means to serve with honor, dedication, and selflessness. The man who shot him pleaded guilty and is serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. A man is in custody after an officer-involved shooting in Fleming County. The Fleming County Sheriff's Office conducted a traffic stop yesterday on a Dodge truck driven by Isaac Spears of High Hat. When the truck failed to stop, a pursuit ensued. The truck Spears was driving got stuck in the mud during the chase, but he still tried to drive off. They say the sheriff told Spears to stop, but he did not comply. That's when the sheriff shot at the window of the truck, prompting Spears to give up. KSP is investigating the incident. Deadly crash in Breathitt County blocked Kentucky 476 for several hours yesterday. Transportation officials say the crash at mile point 10.5 involved a passenger vehicle and a gravel truck. State police say it was a head-on collision and one person died. Another person was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The road opened back up around 3:45 yesterday afternoon, and we are still waiting to learn who died in that crash. It has been nearly 1 month since flooding devastated communities across the Commonwealth. The Kentucky National Guard conducted hundreds of water rescues during the heavy rain and in the days after. Now the Guard is shifting to recovery. Samantha Valentino and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw spent the day with soldiers who are hard at work.
It's difficult to maneuver in some of these areas, even in four-wheel drive and ATVs.
Corn Fork Road in Prestonsburg is just one of hundreds of roads impacted by last month's flooding.
It used to be a lot of muck and washout, and now it's a lot more improved.
That's because the Kentucky National Guard has been hard at work here all week.
All I'm going to do is just try to roll it all this mud and stuff is
We gotta
just
get
keep rolling it in the sun, let's keep drying it.
Using a grader, soldiers have flattened out the roadway, making it easier to travel on. They're also working to repair drainage issues along the road.
We'll build up the header walls around the edges of the culverts, clean out any sediment that's in them or any blockage. And as you build up those and improve those headers, that means that next time the water comes through as heavy as it did this last time, it's more likely to keep its integrity.
Along this 1.5 mile stretch of road are 6 homes like this one, and the families who live here have been unable to navigate their own community until this week.
So even though we can't come in and repair all these roads to the original status, what we can do is we can come in and improve them, which will allow the flow of public traffic in these families to get a little more day-to-day routine going again.
Soldiers are working on similar missions across Floyd and other counties.
There's still some areas the buses can't get to, so they've had to work other means to get those students to school.
Sergeant First Class Tancre says all of these soldiers are volunteering to be here.
They're from these communities, and we have a few that were actually affected by these floods, and yet they're still volunteering to be here because they see that they can help more than just their own family.
This crew expects to be finished here by the end of the day Friday. Then they're off on a similar mission in another impacted area. In Floyd County, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
And a reminder, FEMA public assistance is available in many counties impacted by February's deadly floods. Applications close April 25th. Today, the Appalachian Arts Alliance is hosting its 5th annual St. Patrick's Day celebration. The 21 and over event will feature live music from the Creekers, along with drinks, snacks, and outdoor games. Admission is $20, and people are encouraged to bring art supplies to donate to children affected by recent flooding. Organizers for the community say it's a time to relax and reconnect after weeks of recovery efforts.
One thing that I will always, advocate for and tell everyone, and that I know is true, is that the arts can heal. And so I think just getting together and just being around people and getting to listen to music and having conversations, I think is going to be really healing for a lot of us after, working very hard this past month on flood recovery.
The celebration begins at 6 tonight at the Art Station on Main Street in Hazard. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, federal workers are heading back to the office after 2 judges ruled against the massive layoffs.
And severe weather is in the forecast this weekend. I'll track that up next.